This is a special edition of Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn. We're joined by an old friend of mine. We haven't talked to her for a long, long time. Her name is Laara Van Bryce. She's a doctor of chiropractic and also a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. And you have other initials in there too. I know you've got all kinds of education.
I've studied a lot.
You have studied a lot. You told me something years ago, and I'm going to paraphrase it, that you could make more money doing investments and financial stuff than you can in taking care of people. But you just have this need to take care of people. Do I remember that conversation?
Probably. That's funny. Well, I'm a triple Virgo, and if you know anything about astrology, it's like I got to take care of people, and I'm very oriented toward health, and I have to get my hands on them sometimes, so.
Got it. I get
it comes with the territory.
You're a mom.
Oh, totally. I love taking care of kids.
Got it. And you have two of your own, right?
I do. I've they're adults. They're
right.
adults, but yeah.
One of each flavor, just like me.
Yeah.
Let me start by asking, is America healthy in terms of overall? Are we healthy or are we not healthy?
Well, coming from my perspective, I think we need a lot of health improvement. And I think that really stems with health education. I feel like we've really missed out on what health is and the education that's needed to maintain our health. And I usually start with talking about our food supply, because I feel like that's a real basic place where we can start to make a huge difference in our health. And it's because our food supply has been taken over by the major corporations who, are more interested in making money on the food than they are in giving us good quality food. Or they've been totally misinformed and think that pesticides and glyphosate and genetically modified foods are good for us.
It's funny. The other day, I was watching TV and I couldn't believe it. I actually saw a commercial for glyphosate.
Glyphosate?
Yeah.
Really?
It's still being promoted. The FDA has not taken it off the market. The FTC fights people on supplements, and yet they do nothing about this, and they're still selling it, and it's a terrible, terrible product. Ugh.
It is. It's actually really harming our entire ecosystem, because basically it's an antibiotic that kills the good bacteria, and whether that's in our gut or in our water supply, or we actually need good bacteria in our soils, just everywhere. It's like we are in balance with nature, and glyphosate goes in and just massacres it. But I'm really curious, because I don't watch TV. So what advertisement were they advertising?
They were saying it was a commercial. If you have weeds, we can help.
Oh,
basically.
Got it.
And they have several different, varieties that you can buy. And I was amazed. And a couple of minutes before, maybe on another channel, I don't know, I don't remember, I saw a legal ad saying, if you've been affected by Roundup, give us a call, we're suing. And so it's kind of, it's all over the board,
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things, is that there's so much fake news, right? How do you know who to pay attention or what to believe anymore these days? It is so difficult.
It is.
And I don't have a solution for it. I feel like I live in a very small world where I try to keep out of my mind some of the negativity that comes in. So that being said, when we're talking about health, I feel like also, aside from a good diet, good, clean, healthy water, um, exercise, we all need movement and exercise. We all need to pay attention to our stress level. We need to learn to like meditate or go out for a run or do whatever's good for our bodies. All those sort of healthy things. We also need to pay attention to what we let into our minds. And so I find that really important. And if I watch the news or TV, I find myself getting very like upset, or I can't believe what's being put out to the American public. And so the thing was like last year I went and visited my parents. Well, my parents love the news. And so they're always watching it. And I could not believe all of the advertisements that came across for prescriptions.
Right.
Get your doctor to do that. And then they went into this long list of all the, negative side effects. But they're showing these happy people running through the fields or playing with their grandkids.
And they tend to be seniors, and they're seniors in many of the pictures, the commercials. Yeah.
And I guess I'm naive because I haven't watched TV in a number of years, but I was so shocked by the advertisements that came across, and that they kept putting them across, and that people actually like paid attention and bought those drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that they must not have any other option, or they're so brainwashed.
Well, let me ask you something, Laura, and that is, if somebody has high blood pressure, okay, maybe they're overweight and they have high blood pressure, and they refuse to exercise. The only way that their physician can lower that blood pressure is through pharmacy, pharmacological needs. I think that, in my opinion, we do need, pharmaceuticals, but at the same time.
It's so interesting because yesterday I was in Walmart looking for something, and the guy that was helping me out, he was telling me that as we were walking across the floor to the back of Walmart, how much his knees were bothering him. And I said, well, I'm a chiropractor. I could probably help you out with that. What's going on? And he had said, I don't know, he did something to one knee, and then that put a lot of pressure on that. And so the other one was bothering him now. And then he went into, and I have Crohn's disease, and I don't know what else he had. He had a number of different, he was a mess. And he was a young guy. He had to be in his 20s or early 30s.
Oh my.
And I said, I could help you. And, if you're trying to heal from Crohn's disease, one of the things that I do is I help go in and kill off the bad bacteria in your gut. Because usually there's a pathogen in there that's underlying that kind of condition. And it's usually turned into an autoimmune condition. So by that time, if it's autoimmune, you need to change your diet. You need to get off of gluten and dairy and some other things. We got to talking about eating salad and how he couldn't even eat salad because it bothered his stomach too much. And I said, I could help you out a lot, but it would take your commitment to change. And he basically said, I really don't want to change. And maybe at some point my girlfriend will get me to change my diet. But that's not happening right now, and I'm okay with it. So if you have a person like that, they need to be on medication. There's no question about it. And maybe at some point they would be willing to value their body and their life enough to go, oh, maybe I want to live a better, healthier life. I want to feel better. I want to be able to be a normal 30-year-old and walk across the floor and not have my knees bother me.
Right.
You know, I want to be able to eat salad again. And so, you know, I mean, my hope for him is that at some point a light bulb will come on and he'll value his life and his health more.
And at the same time, this is not a singular experience. There are millions of people who are just like him. They want a pill to make them better. They don't want to put any effort or work into it. Our guest is Laara Van Bryce. She's a doctor of chiropractic and a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner in the Seattle, Washington area. She does do phone calls throughout the country, even if you're in Canada. That's, you know, that's okay.
I do them
Huh?
to England too, to UK and
England. Oh, okay.
in Australia. I get on Zoom. Yeah.
All right. So it's easy. And so, and the website, Laura's website is on our screen right now. Laara, gut health. Let's talk about that for a second. And in the last, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, a lot of alternative practitioners have said health begins in the gut. Now, allopathic or traditional medicine is saying, gee, a lot of disease states start in the gut. They're finally catching up. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. So, you know, 80% of our immune system actually lives inside of our gut. So it controls a lot. And nowadays we talk about the microbiome. You know what the microbiome is?
The gut?
Well, it's bacteria and viruses and parasites and all these things that live inside of us. And there's a healthy balance of all of those organisms. It's like it's a whole nother organ that we have, except it's not us. Genetically, it's this whole system, right? We're
It's symbiotic. Though.
Yeah,
it's
we're
symbiotic,
totally,
right?
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we need to learn how to keep our gut microbiome healthy, because our gut microbiome, it produces all sorts of things for us. So, you know, like a bacteria can convert things into food sources for us that we can't do ourselves. For instance, you know, melatonin is the hormone that we use to actually be able to fall asleep and sleep.
Right.
Well, most of our melatonin is actually made by the gut bacteria.
Oh, wow.
And you know, they'll make some B vitamins for us. They will help us absorb minerals, and they also work a lot with our blood, our brain chemistry too. So I don't know if you've ever heard of a leaky gut, but a leaky gut is when you've eaten too many toxins, or you've been attacked by your heavy metals. For instance, it could be the mercury from your silver fillings, or we're actually being sprayed by aluminum these days. There's a lot of aluminum. All those things, when they enter us, they create harm inside of our gut wall, and we end up with bigger spaces for food particles or large protein molecules, or, you know, bacteria, or things that actually should not get across our gut wall. These things now, as we because of the toxins and because of antibiotics and things like that, they now cross our gut wall and get into our bloodstream. So it creates all sorts of immune challenges. And you've probably heard of autoimmune conditions.
Sure. So you help people as a health coach get better.
Yeah. I
right?
do. I do. I help people, like for instance, with the gut, we begin to identify if you have an overabundance of certain bacteria or viruses, or if you have pathogens in there that you don't want. Um, we help you identify if you have like H. pylori, which is a bacteria that lives in the gut that causes a lot of acid indigestion. And I do that all through a stool test, actually.
Right.
Um, so I help people identify what's going on. If we need to kill off certain bacteria or viruses or parasites, I've got, supplements or herbs that help with that. I help people repopulate with good bacteria through probiotics or eating good, healthy, prebiotic food. And
Sure.
food can make a huge difference in that.
A prebiotic, we should explain. That's before a probiotic. So explain the two of those.
Well, you need to feed whatever you want to grow, right?
Right.
So a prebiotic is like different sort of, fibers, say from vegetables, that give the bacteria, the healthy bacteria that we want to grow. It feeds them. That's what they eat, and so that's what a prebiotic is.
And that would be like vegetables.
Yeah, or carrots, or just different vegetables that are fibrous, right?
Right.
They like fiber. Yeah.
Right. My favorite is radishes, by the way. I love
Oh,
I love
yeah.
radishes.
For many, many, many years, I have used a standard process product called Spanish black radish. And it has been my go-to for so many patients whenever they had like excessive gas and it was bothering their stomach. It would really help either, just dissolve the gas and or, get it out upward or downward. But it really helps people with that. And it's radish. So,
And standard process has been around for, it's like 60 or 70 years. I think it's
yeah, I
second
think
or
the
third
20s
generation
maybe or something.
company,
I don't know. Yeah,
right?
many, many years.
So if somebody has a problem and, your knees hurt, your back hurts, you're gassy, you're just not feeling well, and you think it's normal aging, for example, that that you just have to live with it. You can call Dr. Laara and talk through your problem and figure out what to do so that you can indeed feel great again. Right? Isn't that that's what we want? That's what you want to do?
Yeah, I think, as a culture, we've been sold a bill of goods that, aging means that we are going to go down this path and we can't turn it around. And I think to a certain extent, it is true that we are going to have more health challenges. But the fact that you think you can't turn it around is completely erroneous. There are a number of things that we can do. And in fact, when you do them, you'll feel better in your 50s and 60s than you did in your 30s if you just take the time and the effort to do the things that you need to do.
I just want to. We have just a couple of minutes. I want to talk about organic foods. I just came back from. Laura and I used to live in the same area in Southern California, in Ventura County. So I just went to Lassen's, and because of COVID, their salad bars and all markets are the same. They packaged everything, prepackaged it for you to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But my question is, are there some fruits or vegetables you don't need to worry about being organic? I'll give you an example. A banana. The banana is growing inside that skin. Does that have to be an organic banana, in your opinion?
Well, I do follow the environmental working group's recommendations on that. And, they have their dirty dozen and their clean 15, and I think they change it every year. But certainly, I don't always buy organic bananas, you know?
Right. There are some,
And so I'm
yeah,
totally with you on that.
yeah.
But I encourage, my patients and my listeners to go to the environmental working group. It would be ewg.org, and look up what their recommended foods are. Like I said, the dirty dozen and the clean 15. And and see what they say, because we all want to save ourselves some money, and certainly organic foods are a bit more expensive, but we don't want to not spend money at the expense of our health either.
Of course not.
Yeah.
We're kind of running out of time here, so I'm going to ask you: will you come back? Can we do this again
Oh, I'd love
sometime?
to. This has been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad
Yeah,
to
I'd
hear
love
that.
to.
What is your website? Say it out loud, even though it's on the screen and has been.
Okay, well, I'll just say it's drlaaravanbryce.com, and that's DRLAARA, V as in Victor, A N as in Nancy, B as in boy, RYCE.com.
Terrific. Dr. Laara Van Bryce has been our guest. She's a chiropractor. She is a diagnostic functional nutrition practitioner as well. She studies a lot. She knows a lot about the body. And if you have an issue, you might want to look her up on her website and see if you can make an appointment and get healthy. Laara, thanks a lot. Thanks for reaching out to me. I appreciate your time today. I'm Mark Alyn. You can reach out to us at latenighthealth.com, and you can find us all over the place. We have a new website coming up too, and that's growingoldsucks.com. Growingoldsucks.com, promoting our new book that's coming out very soon, Growing Old Sucks, but